Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and I'm going to assemble Jaded Blossom's new MDF Dragon. So I'm using the brand new MDF Dragon along with the Gnome Friends Dragon dies. And they're, whoops, grabbing stuff off to the side here, the Dragon Faces stamp set that I'm not using for this one. I just wanted to show you that's an option. I'm also using Jaded Blossom's MDF Standing Base die. So first I'm adding on a layer of American Crafts black cardstock. So I cut that out and I'm going to line that up. I just find that it's easier to add all the layers when you have an all over paper already applied to your little MDF piece. Now I'm going to assemble the little head. So you'll notice that I cut it out of kraft cardstock first, and then I'm going to layer my American Crafts black cardstock next. This is just to make it thicker because it will hang off the side of my little dragon. Next, I'm going to assemble the wings here. You'll notice that I layered it up first with kraft, then with American Crafts black cardstock, because these also stick out past the dragon, so I want them to be a little bit thicker. And then the little wings, those were cut from Bazzill Bling-green. I don't know the actual names because I actually have a pad of Bazzill Bling in 8x8. I'm also using Bazzill Bling for the dragon itself, and this is green. So I'm going to layer that on. You'll see that the black layer allows the nostrils to be black, right? And it also makes it all thick, you know, when you're layering things up. I do weight it in between. So next I'm going to add on the little body part that is also that Bazzill Bling. So I use a lot of glue. All my die cutting today was done with my Anna Griffin Empress machine, working on a Stampin' Up! Pad. All the things that I usually use. Barely Arts glue with the needle tip. Then the belly I cut out of that gray Bazzill Bling again. And I'm going to add on, this is the tail. So I'm adding on the tail. This is Bazzill Bling. There we go, in gray. And then I'll add the tail part on that is actually the green Bazzill Bling. So it, you know, so the little spikes are gray. There. Next, I'm going to add on my little dragon face, and I'm just adding the glue on the actual headpiece, not on what hangs out past the MDF. And you see that way the kraft shows on the back and not black or whatever else you use, and it just is more aesthetically pleasing. So I'm using the Happy Haunting 6-inch pad, and I cut out the little standing base die, the MDF standing base die in this little Halloween pattern, because this is going to be a Halloween dragon, right? We're getting close to Halloween, so that's what I'm doing. Now I'm going to add on all the little decorative pieces cut out of that same Bazzill Bling in gray. So adding on these little fins to the side of the head. There. And then we've got a horn that I'm going to add on. Cut from that same Bazzill Bling. I just think this dragon is so cute, right? I'm actually going to be using die cuts for the eyes on this guy. For the normal assembly of this dragon, remember there's always an assembly video for all these die cut pieces. I use the stamp faces and I use the die cut faces so you can see, you know, how they look both ways. So I'm adding on these little fins to this little head, and that is also that same Bazzill Bling. And for the little arms, I'm going to layer up American Crafts black cardstock, and then I'm going to add on the little Bazzill Bling arms. I'm not going to add the little claws to the arms because the little claws kind of stick out past the arms anyway. So it kind of looks like there's claws on there, so I'm just going to leave that as good. And I'm going to layer up the little legs with American Crafts black cardstock and then the Bazzill Bling again. I do have the the little claws cut from American Crafts black cardstock as well. So I'll be adding on little claws to the little feet. I'll be using my embellishment wand to pick them all up. And I didn't bother with the ones with on the hands. They're really small. And, you know, you really don't have to if you use the layer, you know, the base layer for the arms, like with the little points on it, that's good enough. So I am going to layer up the eyes now as well. Cut from Paper Tray Ink white cardstock and black cardstock. There, adding on my little eyes. So I'm just making sure that the little pupils are in the same spot on both eyes. There we go. And I will add my eyes to this dragon. I've got my little visual in the upper right-hand corner. That's what, you know, that's how I put together this little die in the past. Remember, you can watch me assemble that on the assembly video for that guy. So next I'm adding on the little mouth. There we go. You see the little owls are off to my left there. I was getting ready to assemble those next, so ignore that in the video. I didn't really realize you could see it so well. But, you know, I do lots of things when I'm working on this, working on these little MDF pieces. So I'm adding on my little legs there, and I just think this is so cute, right? There. I realized that I need to add another layer behind this leg just because of the thickness and to match the other side, you know, with the tail and everything. I wanted the leg to sit at roughly the same height as the other leg, so I added another layer in there. And it just looked more visually pleasing, so that's why I added another layer. And there is my super cute little dragon. So I'm using these Halloween shape sprinkles from Doodlebug. These are called Trick or Treat. And I'm just going to have this little guy holding a candy corn because I just thought that was cute. And we will add on his little arms in a moment here. We're adding on another layer. And I just find it just, you know, like I said, it hangs out past the dragon a little bit, so I wanted the kraft to be behind it. But it also gives some thickness to these little arms. So I'm just going to add some glue, and then I'll have him holding this super cute little candy corn. I find shape sprinkles from Doodlebug are perfect for these little guys to hold. There we go. Now you could use, obviously, the gnomes have plenty of add-ons that you can have them hold, right? You see that I showed the back because I wanted to show you how only kraft was showing back there, or the light brown. I'm going to add on the wings to the back of the MDF piece. And I just think it looks super cute. And there it is. It's all kraft back there. I'm going to add in my little dragon to his base stand. And isn't he cute? And I'm going to add a couple of these shape sprinkles from the Halloween night shape sprinkles. And these are just 2 little stars. I'm going to add 2 little stars, like barrettes, right? And I'm using my pen blade to pick them up. I added a little dab of glue just because it is a shiny surface. And there we go. And isn't that a super cute dragon for Halloween? I just think he's too cute. So thank you for stopping by. Be sure to hop on over to the Jaded Blossom blog, be inspired by the team, and the Jaded Blossom store to get your hands on these MDF dragons. Thanks, everyone. Bye.